So perhaps you want to start by telling us about how you started working in the swimming with the whales industry, and tell us about your father and the differences between interacting with the whales during his life versus your life, and how it's more turned into an ecotourism thing in Tonga.
Well, I grew up in a time of whaling,
Mm-hmm.
so that the time that people are killing whales for food, and I knew that my dad was involving with that's practicing, and I saw that whales to our very close to our house, and he took me down to see that. When I saw it, it was so huge, and then I still remember that, but it was a long time ago. It was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So the 70s where the we stopped the back then. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in the sea and also the whale because I was afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to go from my village to Neafu, that's the capital of our island, for school. The boat passed, whales flow everywhere. Everybody was crying when we seeing the whales blowing, and remembering our grandparents and people talking about, oh, the whales are dangerous. They can kill people. Because we have no idea. And it's in very big. They are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine seeing them in the water like the girls saw that, and ourselves in a little when we're still young. That's the toughest time when we're crossing main town to school, seeing them on the way. And from there, my father, he raised 9 children. I am from a 9 children.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big family compared to the world. And I had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. And my parents doesn't have enough to provide for our school. And there's no job apart from copra. When the coconut, we call it, they process it. That's the only way. He can go work at the booth and then get the money he can get. And not only that, food is going out fishing, and then he got fish for us as well as the whale meat. So bring it down to short, I wasn't finished the school because there's not enough money to finance. Because 5 of us in high school in one time.
Mm-hmm.
All 9 of us at school, we are so smart. In the village and every school where we were studied, smart, all of us, but my father, my parents can't afford it. So most of us dropped school without finishing it. And I was married in young age. I had my first child. Then, after my second child, there's someone approaching me, do you want to work? And then I said, that's when I was 25 already. It was too late. Yeah, when I sit down now and then that I should start when I was 10 years old. So I was started when I was 25. Asked somebody to clean it, and I said, yeah, why not? I can clean. But that time I was weaving, and then just take care of the children at home. Doesn't know. He wants me to see if I can clean the boats, but that time a yacht charter called Sailing Safaris.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was started. They wanted me to clean the boats, and then they had 5 boats in Tonga and then in Havea with that company. And that's the one I was training and I was learning about it. And at the same time, they're running yacht charter as well. They do whale watching.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the 90s. Sail out, talk a little bit about the whales. But Morgan, I can tell you that the first time I was inside the boat to sail out, I was seasick like chicken. Really bad seasick. I was seasick. Was on the catamaran. We left the dock. I would lay down, but because they really want me to go out there, the only things I was survive every day when we're sailing out for a month is chocolate. And if I don't have chocolate on board, I won't go because very, I didn't keep up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lesson I learned. That sometimes we came up because of the weakness and like seasick. I did it. I keep going for a whole month, and then after all, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time they showed me, I think from my successful in Maritimes, it was started from there because the people who own the business, who they are the one who, if without them, I have known nothing. I don't know anything about the boats, but because they saw me in me, I can do the job.
Mm-hmm.
By the first time they show me, this is how you do it, and they bring the boat. Every time I do it perfectly. But motorboat, I was starting with motorboat, but the sailing boat is a little bit hard. So I remember that John Boy, he was one of my the boss. There are 2 of them, John Boy and Ongo. There's a little dinghy there. They call it Red Kumala. There's a little dinghy, sailing dinghy, and he said, "Get inside. There is a little sail there." And I said, "Yeah." I had no idea what he's mean. When I got in, excuse me, he pushed the boat away. And afraid because I never been on and I don't know how to sail. He pushed and then the wind got my sail and then took me all the way to the other side. And it was crazy, the scariest time in my life because I have no idea how to use the sail. I don't know what to do, but it's a little bit far from the dock. That's how I try to touch it and I said, nobody will come and catch me. Even they all sit there and watch me. So I figure it out how touch the sail and then make sense. I come back straight to the dock because it's a straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I started moving around and there was a tall ship. And then they said, "Hey, come on. So I pull in. First time. Figure out how to move everywhere. And then we have big party. And so the TAC come, they didn't see the red sail because they thought, where is Aunofo? So they came. The red sail was parked very close alongside the horse. And they found me.